What's up guys, welcome back to another video. As I'm sure you've already seen the thumbnail of this video, you know exactly what we'll be building. So we will be building the tower in steps from a schematic I did in the creative world. And the first step will be the frame. And unfortunately the frame will be made out of mangrove wood, which is, as I'm sure you are also all aware of, really hard to gather. I also want to mention that the building currently before me is my starter base, which took me more than 50 days to build, including the interior. So either I'm really slow, or I'm really slow. That's enough of me yapping. My time doesn't grow on trees, and I'm sure yours doesn't either. Alright, clearly I'm just talking because I don't want to cut down mangrove. So let's get this done with. That might have seemed like a really simple task. Cut down some mangrove trees in the matter of a few seconds, but let me just tell you, that took so long and it is one of the most tedious things anybody can do in Minecraft. And as you can see now, we're just approaching the build site. So yeah, definitely never gonna cut down mangrove trees like that again. I will be building a tree farm, a mangrove tree farm in the near future. That took about 4 hours just getting these 2 shulker boxes of mangrove items. As you could probably tell already from the blue lines all over the place, I am using a mod called Lightmatica to build this place, and let me just show you really quickly. So this is the entire build, the hologram of the build, let's just say, and it's really quite simple, the process of building now with this mod. All you gotta do is enable a setting called easy place mode, and what this does once you've enabled it is it pretty much allows you to just right click on all these blocks that's gotta be placed, and it will automatically place the block for you, so you don't even need to take the block out of your inventory or anything. It will automatically do that as long as you've got the block. Our next step for this build, now that we've got all the mangrove, is to place all the mangrove blocks down, since that will be the wooden structure of the entire build, the frame, the skeleton. And yeah, there's also some support facilities here. This will be the kitchen, which I haven't even mined out yet, and these will be the toilets. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started on that. I've also got to remove these leaves. Before we get started, I would just like to show on screen the amount of resources that we had to gather. So with some rough calculations, I had to get 23 stacks of mangrove logs, and most of that, well not most, but the majority will be turned into stripped mangrove logs, and the rest have been converted into stairs, slabs, more slabs, some planks, and a bunch of random mangrove items. And the trapdoors, what are the conversion rates? How can trapdoors be worth more than an entire block of wood? Trapdoors are so thin, it just doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, in the statistics section of the game, I have broken over 26,000 mangrove leaves, so that means I will possibly never ever need to harvest mangrove leaves again for whatever reason. That's enough for eternity. Alright, let's go into another time lapse. That is all of the mangrove structure in. Yeah, you can't really get a good view of this. Now you can see what this looks like. It looks like a proper wooden structure actually. It looks kind of realistic, and I don't think I've missed any mangrove blocks. I might be wrong. I mean, there are the trapdoors here, but I'm not worried about that right now. So I think we could just move on from this and start placing the floors already. all the floors are now in, and that took over an hour, longer than I thought. Again, there's been a lot of budget blowouts in this build so far, and hopefully you also saw my little contraption, well not contraption, my little setup to get all the beeswax, since there's going to be a lot of candles involved later on. So now our next order of business will be to get the snow blocks and also the dark oak blocks, because there are a few dark oak planks across the build. Alright. Let's get back to the build so we can actually check what materials it needs. It doesn't look like anything right now with all the random blocks everywhere. Let's just call that 5 stacks of dark oak logs. Right, that might be a bit of an overkill, but I don't care. I don't want to be running back and forth, not having enough materials to do things. And yeah, that's the mangrove forest where I've deforested. Yes, there is a dark oak forest, good. For some reason, I found that dark oak forests always tend to spawn near birch forests for some reason. I don't know if that's like an actual intended feature or if it's just a coincidence. Distant horizon kind of messes up the textures of things. We will also be needing a lot of snow blocks for the walls and everything, and also like 5 stacks of wool, which is, well, we definitely do not have that right now. While we're at it, let me present to you the mess that is a pasture here. It used to even have more animals in it. Yeah, I kind of just like overbred everything. Like it used to have much more animals. And for some reason iron golems keep spawning everywhere in this village and around it. It's a big overpopulation issue, but I don't have any solution to it. Let me try and get out. What? And these animals, they keep trying to squish onto the hay bale. Hopefully it should be something like this. No, you're not gonna spawn. Maybe like that. Oh, good. Alright, because we need 5 stacks of wool, I'm actually going to start building a wool farm because shearing them manually is just too much work. So let's see what we need. Let's build the collection system first. I'm kind of thinking if I extend this outwards like that, then I can have 2 rows of modules for the wool farm. Observer. Is this the correct orientation? I'm going to place the observers like this. One of you come. Oh my god, could you get back in? Alright, you two, I'm gonna have to kill you. You disobeyed the law. To your new home, which you are going to love. By the way, where did your friend go? They were out here a moment ago. Oh, it doesn't matter as long as you get in. Why are you not entering? I hate this game. Oh my god! Are you stupid? Are you literally stupid? Right, you're just not gonna go in no matter what. Finally, that took 10 minutes. So now what we've got to do is finish off that side and place in all the shears, and we will be done with this farm. Finally, do them anyways. How do you feel about that? My god, can you not? Finally. After this, I am so going on a huge sheep massacring spree. Alright, let's hope that everything works. 5, yes, it's working, that's good. Now this pasture is looking more sad. What are you looking at? More sad and empty than ever. It used to be full of life in there. I think we can move on to building the actual thing that we're building, the tower. And yes, I will see you probably in another time lapse once there's enough wool produced from this to move on to the next stage. Alright, so now the exterior of this build is completely done. The placing of the walls, the placing of the snow blocks and all of that actually took quite a long time, over an hour again. And that was because it was kind of hard to get into some of the little corners and tricky locations to place in all the blocks, even with easy place mode. It was actually more harder with easy place mode because the roof wasn't done at the time, so it got in the way. I think I can actually show the other part of the roof right now. Alright. So yeah, this is the build in all of its glory. It turned out really well, and of course it's designed by myself. It's actually inspired by a real building near my home city. Now with the exterior of this build all finished, the next thing to do is obviously to work on the interior, which is quite lackluster right now. As you can see, all we have is some basic lighting, and there's supposed to be a big chandelier there, some missing blocks all over the place, but that can be fixed really easily. And yeah, so there's also a lot of different blocks involved in the interior. Let me just show you that quickly. As you can see, we have to gather some nether wart blocks, a bunch of different chiseled terracottas, and also if we go downstairs, the walls of this is all finished, which took a while with all the different block types, but now we've got to get all these different sorts of exotic materials, such as copper fence gates, copper trapdoors. They don't need to be oxidized. It just oxidized during my building process in Creative before I loaded the schematic. And yeah, this is going to be, I haven't mentioned yet, but this room is going to be like a rice wine making area, and I actually watched a real YouTube video of how rice wine is made in real life. And that room I will show you later. And yeah, there's just a lot of building to get started with now. Let's come out of this balcony and have a last little glance at the surrounding scenery from up here, and I think we can get started with gathering all the materials that is required for the interior. Let's go! Guys, after a lot of building, a lot of resource gathering, and a lot of planning, we have finally finished building this huge medieval tower, and now it is the time for me to showcase to you what has been built. I also finished this whole path up into the mountains, and this path is going to eventually go through a city wall here, which will be built much later on. And let me just eat something quickly. And right now, as we go to the tower, we will also enchant some items that I have brought with me, since that's what the tower has been built for. It's being built to enchant things. And as you can see, along the way, I built this gateway thing, and this took 2 Minecraft days to build, 3 in fact. It took that long, and I was just really slow at building everything here, but I think it turned out quite nicely. This little pond, big mountain there, and a lot of, I don't know what this is supposed to be, water lilies? Moss? I don't know. If we walk further along this pathway, we'll find ourselves at another pond, and I also want to mention that these ponds are artificial. They were not here before. In fact, before I made these ponds, there were these giant caves. They were so ugly, and they just cut through the entire landscape. So I decided to fill them up with dirt and eventually water. So now it's a quaint little place, except of course you can hear a lot of mobs underneath, and that is because I forgot to I couldn't be bothered to light up the cave areas beneath before I did the filling, because who cares about mobs. Let's keep approaching the tower, it is quite a big build, and yeah, there's not much going on either side of us right now, but that will change in the future. But yeah, we eventually find ourselves in this little clearing, and if we walk up the staircase, this raised section has such a good view of the entire surrounding region. As you can see, over there's our iron farm, that little tower. The ocean surrounds this entire landscape. The sun's setting, that doesn't matter. Yeah, as you can see, I still have not removed the beehive yet. Which is really unrealistic, since why would there be bees in a place like this? But yeah, these are the toilets, that's the kitchen with some smoke. It's quite crowded, but in my opinion quite cozy as well. Some rice. Alright, let us enter the actual building, and you are instantly greeted by a big chandelier. The glass is a bit transparent right now, I don't know why, that's just the shaders. I think I can also show you the basement of this place if I just jump the counter. There's some meat stored up. This is the place where you make alcohol. As you can see, you boil the rice, you put them into these vats for them to ferment, and then after a few months you squeeze the liquid out of the fermented rice, and then you leave them here to ferment further for quite a few more years. There are quite a lot of alcohol stored up. Now let's actually get to the enchanting room and enchant all our belongings. If we just go along here, around everything, and climb up to this 3rd story, more of the same thing, you get another view of everything beneath you. And if we go up, I think it is about time to sleep. There's this lovely balcony. Yeah, so there's this lovely balcony that overlooks the entire landscape. And these are private rooms in there, so I'm not going to show all of that. Although I did spend a lot of time decorating it. Alright. This should be max level. Oh, knockback 2! Let's do shovel first. Alright, this is pretty much junk then. Alright, let's enchant the hoe first. What can we get on the hoe? Efficiency 4. Oh, not bad, not bad. What can we get on the shovel? Efficiency 3? That's not ideal. What about the sword? Still knockback 2. It's just... Oh my goodness, that's so bad. It's just efficiency, and it's not even a max level of efficiency. Alright, at least we got unbreaking. Sharpness... sharpness 3. Knockback 2 as well. Alright, I think we can retry with the sword. Fire aspect 2. Smite again! Why? Why does smite have to exist? The whole reason I came here was so that I don't have to deal with smite. Let's hope that we can get fire aspect 2 without smite. Sweeping edge. Oh! Oh, I think I might stick with this. Yeah. It's got sharpness, sweeping edge, and fire aspect. I think that's good enough. That is a very successful enchantment journey. A decent sword, and also some less useful items, just for decoration, such as the shovel and the hoe. I hope that you enjoyed... Oh, I'm in my head now. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and watching the time lapses of me building this giant structure, and I'll see you in another video.